Welcome to ACTPod, a podcast show that sheds light on the stories and impact of the social sector. The show is proudly powered by Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation. Let's begin the change.
Hello there. You're welcome to yet another insightful episode of your favorite podcast show, ACTPod, our story, our continent. My name is Abiodun Owo, and I am going to be your host on this exciting episode. So I have here with me not one but two young trailblazers who are doing great stuff around Africa. Nwuneli is the founder of Preserve Our Roots, and Ayomide Akran, the founder of Pink Diva organization. They're going to be telling us all about themselves, their initiatives, and then we go from there. Thank you, Amara and Ayomide, for coming.
Welcome. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you are so welcome. I'm really excited to have both of you because I sort of checked you out and I see that you're doing really great stuff. So we'll just kick off with getting to know you and, how did you even start your initiative? So who's going to go first?
Maybe I should.
Okay, Ayomide.
Okay, so my name is Ayomide Akran. I'm the founder of Pink Diva organization. First things first, Pink Diva organization started a long time ago. I have been volunteering for my mom's organization as far as back as I could remember. I had always been in underserved communities. I'd always been around them. So I knew that this was something that I wanted to be in. Like I wanted to experience this as well. So Pink Diva organization helps girls in underserved communities to alleviate period poverty. Now, girls in underserved communities are not given the information that they need and the materials that they need to take care of themselves during the period.
Right.
And this causes a lot of problems to them personally. It leads to teenage pregnancy, teenage marriages. It leads to them doing things that they don't want to do. So Pink Diva organization is that back that they can rely on during this period. And we also help to equip them with entrepreneurship skills so that they can now fend for themselves and fend for their families.
Oh, cool. That is awesome. All right. Okay, so I'll go straight to Amara.
My name is Nwuneli, and I am the founder of Preserve Our Roots. And Preserve Our Roots is a by youth for youth NGO that focuses on raising awareness about climate change, but also mobilizing youth to become their own climate champions and protectors of their communities. It believes that we have the power to do anything we set our minds on. And Preserve Our Roots gives resources, offers almost like a community and a movement where any initiative that comes to mind, you can come to us and basically we'll help you run it, will help you help your community and help the people around you and teaching you to own your power and own your truth. And I started this mainly because of an experience I had in 2020. Okay. My house got flooded because of, the floods that happen frequently in Lagos. And even though I am very privileged and better off, we had to move out because our living room was flooded, our garden was also flooded, so I had to stay over at my godmother's house. And that experience was scary, but it also, I was angry, and I didn't know what to do to channel that anger, so I said, people need to know, people need to hear, and I started raising awareness about it, and it launched to Preserve Our Roots becoming an organization, so yeah.
Wow. Well, this is really, really cool stuff, to know that even as a young person, there was a problem and you didn't just sulk and feel like, oh, Mom, let's leave Nigeria. You decided to do something about it, and now we have Preserve Our Roots. The same thing with Ayomide. Yes, you've been going with your mom to do things around non-profit initiatives, and you just didn't stay there. You didn't want to stay, within that shadow. You decided to also start something for yourself. Can you tell us what the journey has been like for you both? One, because you're young persons. Have you had challenges have you had hurdles that you've had to cross, and how did you deal with that?
Okay, so the journey has been amazing. It has been insightful, and it has also been scary. Now, the reason why I said scary is because people really believe that a young person can do much change. And when you go into communities or schools and you are talking to young people, you need to gain their trust. And the journey to gaining trust is long, scary. It's also amazing because you need to know, you need to feel how they are. You can't just go to a land where they speak a different language and you're trying to speak your own language. You need to understand their language, understand where they're coming from, and you need to bond with them to be able to do things with them. So Pink Diva Organization's journey has been amazing. I've had a lot of insightful things on the journey. I have met amazing young ladies. I have gone to amazing places because of the problem I discovered. I discovered this problem in not one, not two, not three places. So it has been nice having to go to different places and see the same problem. But the highlight of everything is the teamwork, the partnership, having to, like now, partnership here, to partner with other organizations to see their problem, see how it is. It's like there's no grass on the other side. They say the grass is greener on the other side. There's no
There's
grass
none.
on the other side. Because when you are in your house and you're comfortable, you feel like, okay, everything is okay for you. But then on the other side, there's someone that what you're actually wasting, the person needs it
Yeah.
desperately. So it has been amazing to go into people's shoes, not only try to fit in, but go into the shoes to know where their problem is and try to give them the solution that they need.
Okay, Amara, so I'll come to you. You know, when you talk about climate change, some people think that it's still far off. You know,
Yeah.
it's just it's just something that that the Western world came up with, and
Yeah.
so how do you actually relate climate change issues with the people that you work with?
Yeah, so that's a really good question because I feel like people fall into two brackets. Either the problem of climate change is overwhelming to them and they almost like disassociate and don't know what to do, or they don't believe that it happens. And both of those reasons and those type of people both aren't wrong because there's so many things to worry about. There's feeding your family, going to school, getting a job, paying the bills, paying your rent. There's so many things to care about as a
Yes.
normal human being. And so when I actually started advocating for climate change, even my friends were like, what's it with climate and you? Like, are you guys, like, why are you, like, caring about that? But I started by posting Instagram videos. And it started about, like, educating, raising awareness, because the first step to take is educating someone about it, which is
Yes.
we were talking about it before, but the importance of education. And so the way that I almost relate, but also the way Preserve Our Roots as an organization reaches everyone. Preserve Our Roots isn't for one type of people, one class, only Nigerians. It's for everyone around the world to understand that the change is in your hands and then you can make a difference. So right now, what we're doing is we have climate boot camps. We are making a climate documentary as well, but relating it and making it almost relatable, to people,
Okay.
to your lives. So, for example, it started with me with floods. I didn't care. Okay, I loved nature and cared about climate change before that, but I became a climate activist because it impacted my life. So whether you're a farmer, whether you're just a normal human being in Nigeria and you need to pay the bills and buy food and you're seeing the prices are increasing or the fuel prices are increasing or you
Yeah.
can't breathe well or there are no trees or just something about rising sea levels, it's just know that it's affecting your life, making them understand it and seeing everyone with the potential to make a difference. And so that's how we really relate to people, just bringing you home, seeing that it affects your life, so you should do something about it.
Okay, so I bet that you both do not work alone. You know, you have people working with you.
Yeah.
I wonder how you get to mobilize these people who work with you. And during our ride here, Ayomide had told me that she actually works better with older
youth
people, yes,
and older
than even the
people.
younger ones. So just tell me about it. How do you mobilize people? How do you mobilize funds for what you do? Because of course, someone has to
hard.
pay for this.
Yeah.
Yes. So I feel like my team is a team of youth. And initially I had this fetish for, okay, maybe they won't understand what I want. But now I have my dream team and it's something that I always planned to have, but I felt like I was going to have this like older people because they will understand. But now when I bring these young ladies into this space and they are doing it because they love it, they want to see a smile on someone else's face, it has helped me to bring more volunteers. When I started Pink Diva organization, I didn't have volunteers. I just had people that wanted to be in the organization just to go places because they saw that I was on TV or I was on the radio. And when I actually started going deep into this journey, I noticed that I needed people that were empathic, that wanted to feel what these people were feeling. So on this journey of having a team, you just need to be patient because you don't want to
Exactly.
push the right person away.
Okay, patience.
Yes. And because of funding, I feel like people trust younger people with money.
More.
They trust young.
Okay, I'm hearing that for the first time.
I feel like that, but then it's actually really difficult because even as much as they trust you, they want to know what you're doing with their funds because
Yeah.
they are working for the money.
Yeah, how accountable are you?
You. So they have to trust you to give you that money. But then I feel like I'm earning quite a lot of trust because I'm doing this with my heart. I'm giving my heart to them, and I want you to see what is in my heart.
Okay, so would it be correct to say that the vision that you had for Pink Diva organization, you sort of communicated it to them
Yes.
and they understood you and they were able to run with you?
Yes, I call them like my adult pinklets.
Okay.
So my team is my pink angels, and then I'm Pink Diva, and then the fundraisers and the sponsors are the pinklets.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
very
The
So
pink family.
a shout out to the pinklets out there.
Yeah, big one.
Yeah. Okay, Amara, we'll come to you. So how have you been able to mobilize your resources, both human, monetary, financial,
Yeah.
and other things?
So I have actually had a very different experience with that. It's really interesting to hear your side because I think especially with climate activism and a climate organization,
Pretty difficult.
I feel like it's more difficult because we're not actually selling anything. We're mobilizing people. We're really just like utilizing everyone's voice and just focusing on their talent. So it's harder to like go through that process. And especially, I mean, with every process that I've seen with fundraising, with talking to donors and organizations, they like to see like impact already gone. It's very hard for people to go to seed organizations, things that have just started off. Like if it's your, you don't even try if it's like your first 4 months or even first year. They want to see that you've done something
Something
that
already,
you're not
yeah.
just there for the money. And I understand why, because a lot of people will take the money and run. It's very hard to put your trust in people. So I feel like it's hard, but we have been able to, especially, I love the climate family, like we're the green family, because there's so many people coming on this journey, this boat ride, because they see it's such an issue. And so going to a lot of conferences, whether online, hybrid, or physical, I've been able to meet a lot of people who share my vision, share my passion, and also I get inspired from them. And so it's very interesting, but like almost like chance encounters, I've been able to raise money from them. So I went to COP27, which is like the Conference of the Parties by the United Nations, last year, and I was able to meet so many people. And I'm planning on going this year as well. Cross my fingers. But I think it's really about relationships. So I agree with you. Patience in building a team, patience in getting funding. You need to have patience, and that patience means that you also have to be passionate about what you do, or else you'll give up and say, "There's no money here. Move on to the next thing you're fighting for." So there's patience, passion, and believing in your power and your vision. Because if you don't believe, who else is going to believe in your organization?
Okay, so a couple of things have actually, come out from this conversation: patience, trust, communicating your vision, passion,
Empathy.
being passionate, empathy, and those are things that you're working with. And I really am proud of what you guys are doing. Really, really great. So, if you were to share a success story about, your organizations, what you have done so far, something that actually really stays with you, what would it be?
I would say, I think my second year in running Pink Diva organization, the first year was quite rocky because I was in school writing exams and I really didn't have enough time for it. But the second year, I got to meet this young lady who is actually a teen mom, and I don't know how to put it now. She rose to stardom, not like stardom, but financial stardom with the help of our entrepreneurship program. Now, I am an entrepreneur. My outfit is part of my collection.
Awesome.
Now, so I'm really into Pink Diva organization is my baby. My business is also my baby. I'm also in for the girls to learn how to support themselves and their families. You don't just need to be dormant. You can actually add to your family, no matter your class or your race. Now, she was a teen mom. She got into that because she felt like the guy that she got pregnant for was a mechanic and he had money. Now, she had this child and she couldn't do anything about it. Her mom also had a child at the same time she had a child.
Wow.
So they gave birth at the same time. And this is from an underserved community. And her family is a migrated family from the north. So they were just, stuck. And then we had this soap making class. I do soap for parties and stuff. So I just said, okay, let's just teach this to these girls. And we had our pad for bottles drive immediately after. And she took these bottles and made soap and she started selling them. And even me that used to sell them before, I didn't have that motivation to sell like that. But like she had so much income from it because we would literally take the bottles because Pink Diva organization wants an eco-friendly world. Okay. So we take our bottles and we sell them to brands that buy them and use them to make other things. Now, we were selling them at that time and she would literally sell the bottles, the one that she needs for her business, she would keep them and then she was making money from 2 different places at the same time. And I was like, now, wow, this is amazing. So it has been, anytime I remember that, I'm like, Ayomide, you have the courage and the strength to do more because you need to keep on touching people like this.
Exactly.
So that has been like the highlight of my journey.
I'm really proud of that. So, you know, each time you know that what you do, you know, actually greatly impacts on people, I think that just sort of keeps you going.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Okay, Amara, you want to share your success story?
Yeah, I feel like I have 2 short stories that come to mind. I think the first one was in almost the first few months, the first year. I've been doing weekly Instagram videos, posting, writing blogs, just doing I would spend all my time doing it. Like it was like I made to say it my baby. And it was during quarantine as well, so I had so much time on my hands and I was just like I was green. Like that was the color of my body. I was like focused on that. And I remember I got a DM from this teacher. I think she taught in like the north, like somewhere in like Kanu or Kaduna, and she told me that she showed a video that I made in her class in school, like, and all the kids were inspired, and it was so like because I had like 40 followers. I don't know what was going on during that time, but that was the first time I was like, wow, someone is actually benefiting from that. And even though it was something so small, I mean, look where I've come to now.
Yeah.
Like that inspiration, just someone like you don't even know saying, wow, you're helping me, you're inspiring kids your age, showing that you can do something. So that's the first time I was like, okay, someone's actually benefiting from it. But 2 years ago, we got hit by really bad floods. And I knew that I had the privilege, my family had the privilege, obviously, to rebuild after, to still come back home and try and, pick up our pieces after. But I heard from my grandfather and from a lot of people, different farmers, because my parents work in the agricultural space. And a lot of schools and homes were turned down because of the floods. People weren't able to go to school. I saw videos, and I wasn't even in the country at that time. And I was just like, what has this country come to? No one knew what was going to happen. No one knows why this is happening, and no one can do anything about it. So I started a GoFundMe, using my laptop, and I was able to raise a lot of money. Aww. And some from people I didn't even know, out of nowhere. And so it was so inspiring just to see people pulling, people supporting, but also where that money could go. And although it was very challenging, so back to that question about like a challenge, finding a way to channel that money, making sure that it got accredited, that we were able to pay because our plan was to rebuild some of the schools in Anambra. And it was hard talking to the local government, rulers, trying to get, admission, permission, all of that. And long story short, after like 6 months of, giving them money, like having updates, the school was eventually, they were able to get donations, chairs. Wow. They were able to like rebuild some of the parts that were torn down. And it was so great. I wrote a book like in December, and I don't know, I there was a lot of stuff going on in school, and I just saw them like holding a picture up of the book, and they sent a picture to me. I was like, oh my gosh. That's so like, I've just seen that even just through support and believing that every child's life matters, their education, their vision, their like every person has talent and they have to give it to that world. So just helping someone on that journey with what I could, and just being that vessel. It wasn't because of me. It was because of just giving that opportunity to them. And it was just great seeing them go to school and they sent me pictures and of like them holding the book. So it was so fun. Yeah.
I love your stories, and I'm also happy because you guys are not just sitting pretty on your high horses. Yes, you've got privileges. You could have just looked away, just go on your vacation. Yeah. Oh, it's flooded. My house is flooded. You move to a new house, and that would have just been it. But you decided to do something about it. You also decided to do something about, the problems that you saw around it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a big deal for young people out there, to ensure that we're not just complaining about the problems. Yeah. What are you doing about it? Okay, so finally, I really wish we could go on. So for young people, youngsters like you out there who would like to do something, about what's going on in the environment, what would you have to say? Let's start with Amara.
Mm-hmm. I would say don't get overwhelmed by the complexity of the problem that you're trying to face. I think that's something that's really huge that happens, whether it is with alleviating poverty, education, gender inequality, or climate change. It's very hard to just say what would my thing do? What would my video on Instagram? What would my teaching someone how to make soap? Or just that what difference can I make? But just believing in your power and that you're doing some good, and just finding a community around you that supports you, that believes in your initiative, like people who are, like you said, your pinklets or your people who support you. So don't get overwhelmed by the complexity of the problem. Believe in your power and have a community that supports you.
Awesome. Ayomide?
Okay, so, and this is something that has always kept me going. So it's just basic 3 things. You need to trust yourself. And in the process of trusting yourself, you need to be humble. No matter where you go to, humility is key. Either in the change-making space or in the general space, humility is key. Another thing is you need to be open-minded, always own your truth, own your voice. Even if you feel like you're right, just let people just have a feel of the other side of the world, what people's perspective are. And the last one is there is power in your voice. Appreciate it. Use it. Yes. Use it. Use it. Even when you're being talked down or shut down, just make sure that you keep on talking, because you never know who is listening. You never know who is there to watch. You never know who is just there. Just that little word, that little pitch goes a long way. So just own your voice, own your truth, be yourself. And shine.
You have to put all of it. Can I actually add one more quick thing?
Okay.
Is I feel like I've also seen this in this space, but also there is time. I think we were talking about this before, but just because we're young and we're starting organizations and we're doing all of this, you have a reason you're on this earth. I'm a Christian, so I believe that we're all here for a purpose. Yes. But just because someone is doing it when they're 10, when they're 7, there are people all over the world doing different things. So just believe that
your time is different.
Everyone's time is different. Run your own race and support everyone. I feel like sometimes it's easy to get a little bit jealous or why can't I be, I don't know, speaking on this podcast or doing something else. But we're all supporting you, even if I don't know who you are listening to this.
Yeah,
but
we're
run your own race. So that's what I would say.
Awesome. So youngsters out there, you've heard it all from Amara and Ayomide. If you think that doing good, being philanthropic is for adults, you're so wrong.
You're very, very wrong.
You can.
So like they have said, build trust. Own your stuff. Own your voice. That'll be all on this episode of ACTPod. Do listen again. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to ACTPod. For inquiries and feedback, please reach us on actpod@actrustfoundation.org. Follow us on social media at actfoundation_ on Instagram and Twitter, and Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation on Facebook. The show is proudly powered by Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation. ACTPod, our story, our continent.